Okay, you're a bunch of 15 or 16-year-old or 50-year-olds, and you're sitting around playing music, and you've got some great songs written. Okay, now what do? Well, there's a set of steps that you have to do. The first thing that you need to do is you need to copyright these songs. In order to really copyright them accurately, you need to figure out who the writer is, and that could be one person, it could be all the people in the band, whatever. You need to sort this out. Because once you start selling this music in whatever capacity, there's income coming in, and the writers generate more money than the non-writers. So you need to sort that out early on. Once that's done, you need to then copyright this material. Now, in point of fact, you have copyright as soon as you record it, as soon as you affix it tangibly, either in a recorded version or a print version. But you need to register then with the Library of Congress to give you added security. You then need to affiliate with one of the two major performance rights organizations, either ASCAP or BMI. The reason you do that is because they track radio play primarily, or any public broadcast over TV, whatever. And you can generate money doing that. There's no reason for you not to do it. The secondary reason to affiliate with one of these groups is that they're very active in helping emerging songwriters because it's in their interest. The more songwriters that they getting their music used on radio, wherever, the more money they make. So they set up showcases. They set up, I would get CDs once a month from ASCAP and BMI about their up-and-coming writers. So do that. The next stage is really to kind of record a demo. And that's a process. There are many, many different ways in which you want to record your demo, from doing it in the home, which I heartily endorse, Pro Tools, whatever platform you want to use. Becoming adept at those types of things can only help you once you get in the studio because you begin to learn the language. However you do it, create your demo. There are many, many different pieces of information on the website about what the best way to do that, how many songs, how you package it, etc. But you need some kind of tangible tool to get you to your next step. And that next step is really trying to play live. Playing live should first be parties, non-professional gigs, be they at church socials, open mics, wherever you can go to kind of explore the process of playing live, getting some feedback on your songs. And in some respects, you should maybe do that before you record the demo. Get a sense of what's working with an audience and then pick those songs to put on your demo. Record your live performances at these open mics so that you can really start to get some feedback. Once that's done, you need to start moving on to quote-unquote professional gigs at venues that actually pay you to play. You may only make $30, but it's a different type of thing than an open mic where anyone can sign up. In order to get those gigs, typically you need a demo. You need something to leave at the club and say, hey, give this a listen, does this fit? You have to do your research. It doesn't make any sense for an acoustic musician to go give a demo to some metal club. So you do your research, and that will help you. At that point, there's a whole series of things that have to happen that really enable you to maximize the gig. You have to think of that gig and that club as the hub in which all these other spokes start to filter off of. It's the club that connects with booking agents, that connects with managers, with press people, with radio people. These are the people that frequent the club, these are the people that interact with the club bookers, and these are the people that eventually will make up your constituency and your team. So maximizing that gig really means having a VIP list, having a list of the people that you want to know about your music and making them aware of your appearance. Doesn't mean that they're going to write about it, doesn't mean that they're going to care the first couple of times, but through repetition it starts to build knowledge about you as a band, and eventually one of these people sees your demo or your email about your upcoming gig enough times and they say, hey, you know what, this person's out there working it and I want to see what it's all about, and they get back to you. Then you have a dialogue, and that's really what music's about. Someone from a local paper emails you and says, thanks for letting me know about your gig, I'm going to try and come down. Now you're starting to have a relationship with that person, and that relationship will hopefully build to a point where they actually profile you, write a little piece or a live review, but it all starts at that gig. And the bigger relationship you can build with that club, then that club can introduce you to managers. That club can introduce you to record labels. That club can introduce you to entertainment lawyers. They all have to kind of congregate at this place because the bands that they represent are also playing there. Maybe not on the same night, but maybe they are. Maybe you're opening up for them. These club bookers also know the clubs in other areas You know, once you start, you know, you really shouldn't be playing more than once every 2 months in your hometown. If you do, you'll fatigue the club owners, your fans, everyone else. You got to start getting out of town. You start making ever expanding concentric circles outside of your town. Well, how do you connect with these clubs? There are people in the other town that want to come to this club. So you start swapping gigs. You start opening up for them in their town and vice versa in your town. This is how you start building things. You build networks, little networks of pockets of fans, and then they start to overlap. From there, it's about attracting more, retaining more, the relationships that you have with your fans. Eventually, you're going to say, okay, well, this demo is great, but we got to sell some stuff. We need some merch. We need some more CDs. We need some T-shirts. And hey, you know what? Now we have fans in the 2 towns over. Let's webcast our show. Let's put it up online. Let's get a camera shoot and put it up, and we'll archive it on our website. So these people that can't be there, they at least know that we're playing. They know we're doing stuff. It's another excuse for us to talk to them. You build these communities, and it's these communities that start to overlap, and then it's this patchwork that all of a sudden becomes this beautiful quilt, and you can go anywhere. And you don't. What do you need a label for at that point? You start making relationships with the independent record stores around the clubs, where the people that go to the clubs shop. You get your CDs up online. Then when you do finally go, you know what, we really want to try and knock this out of the park, we need the resources that a label might bring, which may mean, some heft at getting you placements and ads. It may mean a broader sense of distribution. It may mean international stuff, although I'd say you can do a lot of that on your own. You come to the table with so much more leverage, so much more bargaining power, and rather than making a deal in which you have a bad royalty rate, you have a partnership. And the label benefits from that too. I can tell you right now, running a label for 15 years, they don't sign anyone that's at 0. Doesn't happen. You've got to get some traction going. Every once in a blue moon you'll sign some band that's just, oh, the music's so great, we can do that. It never works. It never works. It's always the bands that have put the legwork in. Everyone from Godsmack to Guster to whoever, those are the bands that succeed. They succeed on their own terms because they waited and went to a label once they had already established something.